Hello again, everyone. This is Mr. G, and welcome to the third and final part of the Week 4 lecture series, where we talk about this thing. If you're looking at this now and thinking to yourself, what the heck is that? I promise you are not alone. The first part of my response to you is, I greatly sympathize with how you're feeling. When I saw this, when I was in high school learning theory for the first time, I was just as flustered, if not more. But the second part of my response is, this is the circle of fifths. Despite how complex it looks when you first see it, I promise to make it very simple and break it down in such a way that it will be easy to understand. This is one of the most important and essential tools in any musician's toolkit, and I want to make sure you have a strong understanding of what this is and what it's used for. So this is how the lecture is going to go. I'm going to describe what each of the rings represents within the circle, then what the circle is used for, and then why it's called the circle of fifths. But before we do any of that, I'm going to emphasize this pro tip. Imagine it like a clock and always start from the 12 o'clock position. You'll know what that means soon. But for now, I'm going to write a 12 right at the top in this segment of the circle. And with all of that done, let's begin. So, start with this middle ring. You'll notice that there are letters inside, each of them corresponding to a letter in the musical alphabet. The middle ring is the major key signature letters. Again, the middle ring is the major key signatures, M, M. The inner ring is the minor key signatures, denoted with a lowercase m. The outermost ring is the sharps or flats that are found within that key signature. So if you were to read this segment of the pie, it basically says that C major and A minor have the same key signature. If this is starting to sound familiar, perhaps relative pairs, relative major, relative minor, you would be exactly right. G major and E minor have one sharp, D major and B minor have two sharps, etc. So if you go clockwise, you'll notice that you keep adding a sharp in each segment of the circle. If you go left, you'll notice that we add flats in each segment of the circle. Now let's go to what the circle of fifths is used for. Finding the key signature of all 24 musical keys, all 12 major and all 12 minor. Again, middle ring, major, inner ring, minor. That's pretty straightforward so far. Finding the relative major and minor. Yep, just explained that. Easy. So every segment has relative neighbors, major, minor. It's also used as an aid for harmony and chord progressions, but we'll discuss that in a future week of the course. The most important thing that the circle of fifths is used for is finding the order in which sharps and flats are added to a key signature. I will repeat. It helps you to find the order in which sharps and flats are added to a key signature. And this point actually ties directly into why it's called the circle of fifths. So I'm going to transition there. Again, imagine it like a clock. We have 12 o'clock in the uppermost position. Every time you move clockwise by one position, you are adding a sharp to the key signature. So again, let's start at the top. We go one segment clockwise, that's one sharp. One segment again, two sharps. Another segment, three sharps, four sharps, five, etc. I didn't write this in, I will in a moment, but if you were to go left, counterclockwise instead of clockwise, that is the direction of the flats. Go one segment to the left, add a flat. And then there's 2 flats, 3 flats, 4, 5, etc. And then, coincidentally, each subsequent position is based on the 5th scale degree of the key that comes before it. If you move clockwise, that is. So starting from the top. Actually, let me describe it this way instead. Top is C major. I have C major written out here. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. The 5th scale degree is underlined because that is what starts the next scale. If you go one segment to the right, you'll start on G. If you go another segment to the right, now that we are in G, it will start on D. And then if you go another segment, it starts on A, and then E, and then B, etc. So therefore, when you add a sharp to the key signature, you also go up 5 scale degrees. So let me explain that one more time. We start at the top, no sharps or flats, we have C major. Go right 1, you add a sharp, and then go 5 scale degrees up from C, then you get G. Go right again, add another sharp. Go 5 scale degrees up from G, and you have D. And that pattern repeats every single segment that you move clockwise around the circle. And that is the order of the sharps. F, C, G, D, A, E, B. Or you can use this handy phrase. Father Charles goes down and ends battle. Thankfully, the order of the flats is the reverse of the order of the sharps. B, E, A, D, G, C, F. And pretty cool trick, you can just reverse the phrase as well. Battle ends and down goes Charlie's father. So now let's practice with trying to find out how many sharps or flats is in a certain key. Again, let's make sure to put the 12 at the top. Oops, there we go. I'm also going to put this handy reminder up here. Sharps are clockwise. Flats, I'll use a different color for that. Flats are counterclockwise. Starting from the top, the 12 o'clock position, as the pro tip said, we can find that, let's say A major. A major has 3 sharps. Keep going. We could say that E major has 4 sharps. We go the opposite. F's got 1. E flat's got 3. That's all well and good. Now, let's make this a little bit more interesting. Let's hide the key signatures to prove that this works. So again, starting at the top, we know that C has no flats or sharps. We wanted to find the key signature that has 4 sharps. We need to go clockwise, 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's E. Let's double check to make sure if we were correct. And indeed we are. Let's hide it again. Now let's try to find a key signature that has 5 flats. Start from the top. We need to go 5 spaces counterclockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We get D flat. And I believe we are correct as well. So that is our discussion. and orientation of the circle of fifths, what it looks like, how it's used, and why it's called what it's called. If you have any comments or questions at all, especially questions, please get in touch with me as soon as you can, and I will help you as best as I can. Please feel free to rewatch this video as many times as needed, or if you're still stuck, again, let me know, and I will help you in any way I can. Take care. Thank you for watching this long lecture series, and music be with you.